Pathmonk is the AI for website conversions. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support your visitors in the buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50% by adding Pathmonk to your website in seconds, letting the AI do all the work, and increase conversions while you keep doing marketing as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Pathmonk Presents. Today we are joined by Jovana. She's the head of marketing at Vue. Jovana, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Great to have you, Jovana. And let's get right into things. We were just talking about Vue shortly before we hit record, but let's hear from you. You know, if you're in your own words, what's the heart of what your company does, and how would you describe it to someone new?
Yeah, for sure. Vue, first and foremost, is a science-driven skincare brand, and we built it around transparency, scientific and clinical efficiency, and just instead of selling, I would say even just products, we try to help people embrace confidence and feel great in their own scale. And we focus on creating like very minimalistic but effective solutions, with our hero product being hydrocolloid nose patches that are just designed to not only deep clean your pores, but help prevent any other like more serious issues that do come from not taking proper care of the pores, and basically make people feel comfortable in their own skin, and having a healthy journey with a good, I would say, dermatological research and science research behind it.
Of course, yeah, and it sounds super important. And also, I want to understand: is it more geared, let's say, towards the female audience, towards the male audience? Is it like neutral in that sense?
It is
Yeah, how would you
actually
describe that?
built for all skin types and definitely for both male and female audience. Interestingly enough, even though we are a skincare brand and people do assume that majority of our customers is female audience, however, I think over 30% now we have male audience and male customers, which I mean, it is great, and I'm personally happy to see that number rising up more and more, because male customers are usually very intimidating by
Mm.
complex like skincare solutions, the 17-step routines and all of this. And this is like an easy one-time thing. You put it on your nose, you sleep with it, tomorrow take it off, and that's it. And I'm seeing that especially male audience really appreciates the easy application, easy solution. It's effective. They can see the results right away, and yeah, just like less fuss for them, I would say.
Right. Let me admit, it was a question about your audience, but it was also like trying to understand: is this something I could try out? Right? Because
You should.
uh, I tried a couple brands, and I of course it's about the routine. But I don't know. I think many men will be on the same line of thought as myself, just thinking I don't want to spend too much time, in front of the mirror. I don't have that time, right? I don't have that interest. I want something easy. I'm getting towards an age where I might need a little help in that sense. I wouldn't mind it, just to stay fresh, look good for my wife and whatnot. But yeah, at the same time, it's good to know that you're geared towards you're just geared towards female audiences, but you're doing it for all types, right?
And I think, like, personally, especially men that do think like you, that just don't have enough time or interest, first and foremost, and even knowledge on how to do it, because skincare can be intimidating even for girls, with, what goes first, what goes next, all of the steps in it. And this is just very, very easy. And this is why I believe that we have been able to reach so many male customers as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. How do most people discover you then? Whether both audiences, let's say, and I guess in a way, I would love to understand if there are any marketing channels at this point, as we go into the more technical stuff about your role, any marketing channels that have become your go-to for bringing in more clients and more people to in front of of you?
Yeah, for sure. So our top acquisition channel is Meta and Meta Ads, and there I would say creative testing plays a huge role. So we are very performance driven, and then we also do play like a big portion of our research and our efforts into tailoring the creative to different audiences, personas, and just trying to achieve as big as diversity as possible, so we can always kind of touch new top of the funnel audience and bring them into our funnel. So yeah, I would say that the biggest portion of our efforts when it comes to top of the funnel acquisition would be Meta Ads.
Okay, got it. And then I would assume these people will go right straight to your website, right?
Yes, exactly. Where they will see kind of a pop up where they can also like select their skin type and enter in our welcome flow to then actually get like personalized tips that they can get extra offers or be the ones to know when we are having new product launches or any deals to share with them, and a lot of education and value. And this is how we are, it is our like biggest retention channel, is basically providing education and value to our current customers.
Yeah, I'm sure that helps a lot. And in fact, let's stay on that for a second. So you mentioned quizzes, you mentioned personalized tips. Is there anything that you've learned about what makes a great converting e-commerce website, and anything you can share in terms of, what you just shared, the quizzes and whatnot, but also like tools, tips, any framework even that you can recommend?
Yes, one thing that I learned over the past, now I would say 2 years, when it comes to increasing the conversion rate in general, is clarity and not clutter. And that's the best piece of advice that I can give to any brand out there, because the best converting websites, they educate without overwhelming, and without giving, I would say, even too much information or too many upsells, cross sells, and so on, but actually going with a simplistic but like thought out process on the website. And when it comes to educational clarity, also to explain the why behind the products in a very simple for us, like science-based language. Um, on visual end, maybe like we, at least as a brand, tend to go towards more minimalistic layouts with very like clean product imagery and very consistent tone of voice and typography. And then like we also add some CRO testing, and elements, the trust signals, the before and after visuals, our trust pilot, and we love to brag with that because we do have an awesome review and review score and bunch of reviews there. So these are all like small things to add on, but I would say just being very clear and simple in the process, as not doing too much at the same time, which just jeopardizes the customer journey. And the more things you have between person landing on your website and the like finishing the checkout process, the bigger gap you will have in the conversion rate and people dropping off. Yeah.
No, that's a great point. I especially love the one you made about being very minimalistic. Personally, if I approach a brand and it says it's scientific based, that's what I want to see, right? I don't want to see bells and whistles. I want to see something that tells me exactly, the benefits and how it was studied and what kind of result I can expect from using that product. So it sounds like that's what you guys are doing, keeping it simple, keeping that message simple, and also keeping it personalized to the people that are visiting the page, right?
Yeah.
So very good, very good. Now let's switch gears for a second, Jovana, and talk about you as a leader on a typical day. What are the main things you focus on as a marketer? We were just joking before, just about the different hats that you wear. But What do you focus on, and what does a day in your role look like?
Yeah, well, my role is definitely very diverse. A lot of hats to wear and a lot of responsibilities. And as the team is growing, so does I would say the scope of work. But I would say that my role is a kind of a mixture of growth and performance marketing, creative strategy, systems building, and management of it. And then everything from, like daily, I oversee all the creative testing, at performance analysis. I do personally run our account as well on
Hmm.
Meta. So everything regarding the campaign structures, and growth, conversion on and offer like optimizations mostly through campaigns, and then also like coordination between all the creative, performance, product, retention teams. And one of the things that I personally really love in my day-to-day work is building like very scalable workflows and Notion systems to keep everything connected and to make sure that the team is having the highest possible efficiency, and just having everything clear, for their day-to-day tasks. So making sure everyone is happy, I would say, maybe my number one job.
Hey, I don't know if there's a rhyme such as, same as happy wife, happy life for teens. You know what I
There
mean?
should be.
There should be, because it's a smart approach. You want to keep your team happy, obviously, and as well as advancing and progressing with the growth. And it sounds like you have your hands full, right? And you must have like a system of some kind of productivity where you tackle your day by I
Yeah.
would say maybe the most important thing, and then you go, different people have different ways of going about it, but you must have something like that, right, to kind of
Yeah,
be
I do. And we have
productive.
a like for different areas of or and different channels, we have different workflows that we can then prioritize. One that I'm kind of the most proud of, it is my creative weekly flow. So it is basically a Notion board that we created where on a weekly basis, it goes from ideation, either on voiceover creator ads, to scripting, then to filming if needed, or if we already have the clips, directly to video editing, graphic design, then to kind of QA, revisions, testing, and then it goes back to the learning phase. So end, like I would say, table is performance review. We see, we analyze, we iterate, and then the research part starts again. And on Monday we can start a new cycle
Mm.
with what we learned from during this week. And every week we do this, and it just allowed us to really scale the brand in this way. I would say it was one of the best systems that actually like directly impacted the growth of the company, but also our like efficiency and workload as people making it happen. And yeah, like it allow us to create a bigger volume, to know exactly what we need at what time, and just double down on what is working.
That's very interesting, and I love talking about these things. I love to geek out on that kind of thing. It sounds like you got your system down to check things off the list, of course, but also to work at speed, right? Speed and efficiency, which is great. Talking of speed, right? I would love us to jump into our rapid fire segment of the podcast, if you don't mind. So it's just a few light and engaging questions to keep it, as I said, light and engaging, right? So would you be ready for that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do it. So, do you prefer watching, reading, or listening?
Watching.
Watching. Okay. What's the latest piece of content that you watched? It could be a movie, it could be a reel, anything, a YouTube video. And were there any ideas or gems that really stuck with you in it?
Actually, yeah, because just a little bit before our podcast started, I was watching for a research an Apple ad for their AirPods and their
Hmm.
hearing aid system. and it was very impactful how they were able to convey emotional messaging and touch the audience. And we are taking some learnings from it and trying to see how we can be better at it and maybe create something similar, as we haven't touched that kind of ads yet.
Very good. If there were no limits with technology, Jovana, what's one thing that you love to solve that will make your life easier as a marketer?
Okay, that is a good one, to be honest. And now with the development of AI, it everything seems possible. Uh,
Mm.
but I would say one thing that I would love to have is an unified real-time attribution system that works perfectly. And right now, I don't think it exists, but I'm hoping with advances in technology that it is gonna be our future.
I agree. Right now it sounds like asking for a miracle, but eventually
Yes.
it will probably be more feasible, right? Like many things used to be in the past, and
Yeah,
nowadays
for sure.
are doable. So, okay, what's one repetitive task that you love to put on autopilot forever?
I would say creative performance analysis. That's something that I believe that it's even possible with AI um, to do not so far away from now. We do use AI to help us with this process, but to fully automate it, it still, of course, requires a human touch. And I think that it would speed up things way, way more for us and for majority of other brands. So I would say that yes. And then also like being able to notice things such as, hook types, visual styles, emotional triggers, and which personas exactly is it triggering with what type of messaging, and make suggestions based of it.
Okay, that would be an interesting one for sure. Now, Ivana, as we wrap things up, we're coming towards the end of our time together. I want to thank you, obviously, for being on the show with us today. I also want to give you the last word. So, if someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is the one thing that they should remember about your company and the work you guys are doing?
Yeah. So one thing that I would love to leave everyone at is that uh, Vue is first and foremost a brand that is built around transparency and being customer focused instead of only product and benefit focused, which I believe that a lot of brands do forget. And most successful marketing isn't chaotic; it's very intentional, it's data informed, and first and foremost humans. So I would also say it would be good if we start building systems before scaling and kind of never assume that like only more campaigns means more growth, but it needs to be with a lot of research and attention.
I love it. I love the human part. I mean, that's
Yes.
always kind of like, at the end of the day, that's what we relate to. That's what we're doing about, what we're all about too. So
And in the
I
end of
love
the
that.
day, people actually buy from us. We need to be able to relate to them on a just normal, relatable human level, and they will recognize that. Yeah.
Yeah. If people want to put that to the test and want to check out your products, where could they go, Ivana? If you want to plug, your website and your socials, please feel free.
Yeah, for sure. So right now they can find our products at viewswiss.com. Our entire line is there, and our social media has the same name, so it's all linked there.
Amazing. Ivana, as I said, thank you again for being with us today and thank you for sharing your knowledge. It was really valuable. And I wish you a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rick, and thank you really for having me.
Of course. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.